The thing with Sam Darnold, I keep asking myself, why is he here? Because theoretically, the Niners have two really promising 23-year-old quarterbacks, not just one. But if you remember the offseason, it was like both were coming off serious injuries, and it felt like Sam Darnold was a hedge. Brock Purdy, do you know he's going to be healthy? Trey Lance, do you know he's going to make improvements? So far, the answer is yes and yes. Brock's good. He's healthy. Trey Lance, he's healthy. He's improving. And Darnold's still here, and they're still taking a really close, serious look at him. Why? And what are you seeing?
Well, I mean, he makes some really good plays. I think it's just a simple thing where he wanted them as much as they wanted him, and the price was right, and they weren't sure about Trey, and they didn't go to quarterback in the draft because they had already had Sam. I think if Sam didn't come to them, and I don't think they had a quarterback they liked. And they wanted to take a look at him. As far as I'm concerned, though, I want to see more points. I mean, it's okay to have he throws some dimes, and there's been some good moments there.
His best throw was that one that didn't count when he got smacked and he hit someone down the field and it was like holding or something. But real quick, one stat: 8 drives, 1 score. It was the last touchdown drive where he hit Jack Coletto, and I thought Kyle Shanahan was like deep in his bag on that drive. Like, we are going to make this work, Sam. Come on. So that's stats for him.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more. I'd like to see more points. But overall, I mean, as a number 2 quarterback or a number 3 quarterback, I love him. As the starter, not so much. But to me, he looks like he's about to play his best football. Now, whatever that means, I mean, that's not saying a lot because his football up to this point has not been good. But don't you get the feeling in this scenario with this coach, these weapons, that he's going to play probably his best football? I mean, he was 11 of 14 last night. He wasn't particularly sharp, but he showed a little mobility. I thought he had one dime, and I can't remember the play. It was like towards the Broncos sideline on their side of the field. Maybe second or third drive. I was looking for it in my notes, but he had one pass that I thought was just a flat out dime. To me, he looks pretty good, but to me, it's not like Sam. Like, there are people that are like, Sam's the number 2 over Trey, and it's not close. Well, what do you want? I mean, I totally disagree with that. To me, it is close. It's very close.
I prefer Lance. I mean, Darnold, to me, he shows flashes, but I thought Blaine Gabbert showed flashes when he was the Niners starting quarterback. Like, those guys will make throws where you're like, oh yeah, that guy was a top 5 pick or he was a top 10 pick. I remember that. A big guy, strong arm, can make he can make those. You're like, man, that guy could be a Pro Bowler. But then the next play, it could be just as bad. And I think what's crazy is 11 of 14, great. That's just super great. How were you 11 of 14 and you scored 1 time in 5 drives? I think that says a lot about Darnold. Like, he's not really out there to move the ball and win. Like, he's checking down on 3rd down. I don't think he's really playing to compete. I mean, I'm sorry, not to be too. He's just not competing on the level that Trey and Brock are. I think he's kind of padding his stats and surviving. 1 scoring drive in 5 attempts.
I'd like to see more points. The pass play that I loved from Darnold was the first on the 3rd drive of the game. So he's in there. This is his 2nd drive. He went 3 and out on the 1st drive. They get the ball on their own 25. He's on his own 38. It's 1st and 10. He finds Juwan Jennings, and he just threw an absolute dime to Jennings. It was a great play, and then it was a hold on Feliciano. That got called. It got called back.
Sure.
I thought Darnold made a couple throws that were really, really good. I
agree.
To be honest, I don't have a real problem with the 49er quarterback room. Why? Because I feel like they got a quarterback who's ready to play right now. They got a quarterback who's far and away one of the NFL's better backup quarterbacks. And then they've got a project, a high upside quarterback project in Trey Lance that's improving before their eyes. And just because week 1, it's Purdy, this is assuming it's Purdy, Darnold, Lance. Just because it's Purdy, Darnold, Lance week 1, I could see over the course of the year it becoming Purdy, Lance, Darnold, and Trey moving into that 2nd spot. And so, I mean, I think it's a little bit more fluid than the people who are describing it as Darnold's a lock for number 2. He's a little bit more ready to play right now. He's a little bit more trustworthy. Let's just say this, not trustworthy. He's a little bit more calm. You can't rattle him quite as easily. He's a little less raw. You can tell that's what 55 starts gives you. But it's not a wide divide between Darnold and Lance. There just isn't.
I'm not certain the Niners would win with Sam Darnold. I feel like even though he makes the occasional nice throw that makes you say, okay, yeah, I don't think he's a winning quarterback. I think he makes really bad decisions. Like there was a play last night, it was 3rd and 14. He slid like 5 yards in front of the first down marker. I'm sorry, man. There is something not there with Sam Darnold. I don't know what it is.
He doesn't want to take a big hit.
Well, fine. The Niners are just...
He got smacked pretty good on that first series, though, too.
They think that he's going to magically become good, that it was all the other team's fault. I don't see it. He's Sam Darnold. He has some good moments. He balances those out with a lot of bad moments. You can't trust him. Meanwhile, you have 2 really promising young quarterbacks who are healthy and improving. Why are you wasting your time with this? You don't need 3. You got 2. Brandon Allen's 3. It just feels like a reclamation project that you either like Sam Darnold or you don't. You can put him with a bunch of great players, but it's Sam Darnold. Has he really improved?
Are you suggesting they go with Trey as the 2, Allen as the 3, and trade Darnold?
They could keep Darnold. I just don't know why he needs reps in preseason. Like, I don't think he's improved. I think you either like him or you don't. He's in a better team now. He's in a better scheme, but he's still going to be the guy who slides 5 yards short of the first down marker for no good reason. He's still going to be the guy who takes sacks that he shouldn't take despite being mobile. He's still going to be the guy who's dying to check the ball down even though there's someone open downfield and he has the arm to get it to him. That's who he's always been. He's still going to be the guy who turns it over. So I just feel like it was a hedge because they were nervous about their young quarterbacks. The young quarterbacks are both, doing great. And the Niners are like, wait. Let's take another look at 26-year-old Sam. Okay.
What I see with Darnold is the highs and the lows. You see the highs of a play, and you're like, "Wow, look at that!" And then you see the lows of the plays, and then you go, "Wow, this is why
Sam, yeah, 55 games, and you still do this, yeah."
I'm sorry, he's not trustworthy as far as there's turnovers, there's inconsistency, there's self-preservation, there's all kinds of things going on in his head. Like when he slid down there, I was like, "Are you going to run?" Or, are you going to – I mean, I saw Zach Wilson in the preseason game yesterday run and get down the sideline and keep running. Darnold seemed like, okay, I'm going to run because I don't have anybody open. And then all of a sudden I see a defender coming. I'm sliding down. I'm not taking that hit. So, I mean, to me –
So are you competing for the number 2 job or not, man? What are you doing? Because – I'm sorry.
No, I mean, in a lot of ways, I think the number 2 job is almost locked up. I think he's probably it.
Well, I think Trey Lance made a late push coming around the corner in the Kentucky Derby. I think he's neck and neck. I think this last preseason game matters, and I'm just going to say that because I'm trying to promote it for my own YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, everyone.
The most interesting part of the post game was Shanahan saying that the ones are going to play in preseason game number 3.
Maybe Trey will get a minute with him like Darnold did. Fair is fair.